everybody. So my blog post today is about how I healed my partial Achilles rupture. I actually had some really big plans this year. I was going to run the New York City Marathon, but I ended up getting injured while I was playing one of my coworkers in basketball. So, womp womp. So there were actually three things that I really paid attention to when I focused on my recovery. One of those things, the most important thing that I always talk about, is nutrition, because what you eat becomes who you are. And especially with a Achilles tendon rupture, that area does not get a lot of blood flow, and it doesn't get a lot of nutrients. So you really want to flood nutrients that your tendon needs to recover. So one of the things that really stood out to me was the fact that your tendons and your ligaments are made of collagen. And in order to get collagen, you want to have good collagen synthesis. That came from me eating a lot of bell peppers. Now, everybody at work makes fun of me because I get the sweet peppers, and I'll eat them like they're candy. But they were really, really valuable in my recovery because the vitamin C in those bell peppers helps collagen synthesis. And I also coupled that with supplements. So I supplement every day with collagen because I don't have a meniscus. I tore my ACL and my meniscus when I was 16. So it helps lubricate the joints. But I doubled up on my collagen as well as adding L-lysine to what I was taking every day. L-lysine helps collagen production, but it needs vitamin C to help it do its job. That's why I was eating a lot of peppers. I also stayed away from a lot of inflammatory foods such as your meats. I ate a lot of plants. I was basically like vegan for a little bit, but it really helped speed up my recovery time because I wasn't having a lot of inflammation. Inflammation inhibits recovery. So I stayed away from a lot of meat, stuck with plant proteins, things like that, to make sure that I wasn't having a lot of swelling and I was not having a lot of pain. I also didn't take any medications. I just took any herbs that help with inflammation, such as ginger or turmeric, and I really stuck with trying to eat whole foods. And that really helped reduce like my sodium retention and things like that. Because I remember there was one day I was hanging out with my friends and I ate like some cookies and like some cake or like a hamburger or something like that. And the next day my foot was swollen, like my ankle and my foot were so swollen and they were so in pain that really let me know that that was really not conducive for my recovery. So I stuck with a lot of whole foods and I supplemented. And one thing that was really important as well, I stretched a lot and I bathed, because I use the analogy with my clients that the muscles are a chain of rubber bands. So if you have one rubber band that is tight, it's going to pull on the other rubber band. Sometimes your rubber bands, your metaphorical rubber bands, can get so tight that they pop. So that's exactly what happened to my Achilles, because the Achilles actually inserts into the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscles. So I already knew that my calves were tight. I just ignored it, just like a lot of people do when they go to the gym. And that ended up causing me injury in the end. So I learned the lesson the hard way, which that's what I tend to do. So one thing that I really, really focused on as well, I couldn't stand up in the shower. So I took a lot of really hot baths. Hot baths and heat really increase blood flow, and that's going to increase the amount of nutrients that are getting to your injury. So I was focusing on doing that as well as stretching in the bathtub, because your tendon would be more malleable, more flexible as you apply heat to it. So I did a lot of that. So I did dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion is, this is your leg, this is your foot. You're bringing your foot upwards towards your shin, bringing your toes up towards your shin. And I did a lot of dorsiflexion. And now my injured ankle is actually more flexible than my healthy ankle. So those are just a couple of things that I did. Those are the main three things that really helped my recovery. I took it very slow in the gym. Everybody was kind of yelling at me because, I was pushing it. But, I really just wanted to recover quickly. Like I said, I'm 11, going on 12 weeks out now, and I'd say I'm about 90%, closer to 90% recovered, which is awesome. Another important thing that I did too, I walked barefoot a lot. Because when you're barefoot, it increases your proprioception, it increases your mind's ability to sense where you are in space. And walking barefoot engages different muscles. I noticed With my feet, I tended to roll over to the outside of my foot to compensate for the pain that I was feeling on the inside of my foot. So I just gently corrected that, and I could only feel it because I was walking barefoot. So if you ever have or know anybody that has an Achilles injury or any other tendon or ligament injury, this could definitely help you out as well, because it's pretty universal, especially with the nutrition aspect of it. So hope you guys enjoy the blog. Hope you read it. And if you have any questions, just email me.